Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Mouth Dancing with your host Young. I was watching this Japanese TV show once, and they showed the way that chimpanzees in a zoo peel bananas, and they peel them from the side that's opposite of the stem. I see a lot of people in America, it seems like most people, they peel them from the stem part, but I think that must be wrong if chimpanzees do it the other way, because they seem to be pretty pro at eating bananas. And I remember as a kid too, I used to peel bananas from the bottom also, or maybe it's actually the top. No, it's actually the bottom because the stem is on top and it's hanging from the stem. But it was just easier than bending the stem back and breaking the skin that way and then peeling it down. So, I don't know, I guess my instinct was correct. Maybe I'm somewhat of an ape. You could even say monkey. A lot of people get really pedantic when you say that chimpanzees are monkeys. They say, no, actually they're apes. But I read this article once by a scientist, a biologist guy, and he said that it's technically not wrong because apes came from monkeys too, so if you go back far enough, we do come from monkeys. But yeah, if you're peeling bananas from the stem, you're doing it wrong. And I think that more people should be aware of this because, it's just easier to peel them from the bottom. And then when you get to the stem part, the banana also comes out more smoothly. It's not like attached to the skin at that part. Just give it a try next time, and you'll probably kick yourself for having peeled bananas the wrong way all this time. The chimpanzees, they're captive chimpanzees, but they're not. I don't think captivity has made them stupid. They still eat a lot of bananas, and if you have that much experience eating bananas in the zoo, then you surely know the best way to peel them. And they peel them really quickly too. So I'm sure the technique is better than what most people do. Is a fart a thing? I guess air is considered a thing. It's a noun. But farts are like air too, that come out of your body, out of your butt, They're like hot, stinky air that comes out of your butt. And you can smell them most of the time. Actually, I'm not sure if you can smell them most of the time. I don't know how you would figure that out. You'd have to study a bunch of farts from a bunch of different people and then decide which ones are stinky and which ones are not. But I don't know. I think it's a pretty safe guess to say that most of them are stinky. I guess it also depends a lot on what the person's been eating and their gut bacteria and their age maybe and their health. Lots of different factors, but I think most of them stink probably. But you can't really see them, right? Sometimes you could see in your underpants if you had a little accident because you squirted some poop out when you farted, but the fart itself you can't really see. But I don't know, there's other things you can't see that are considered things, right? Like loyalty or love or honor. You can kind of see them in terms of people's actions, but they're still just ideas, right? Are those considered? Yeah, they're considered things too. So I guess a fart is a thing. Yeah, I bet if you used a certain sort of camera, maybe like a an infrared camera or some other kind of really sensitive camera, you could see an actual fart. You could see the colors, the different colors that it makes in terms of temperature. It can take pictures of sneezes too, but sneezes tend to produce more stuff when you do it. There's like actual snot and spit that comes out of your mouth. There's like a mist, right? But I think generally speaking, there's no mist when it comes to a fart. At least I hope not. Well, I've seen people light their farts on fire before. So I guess that it contains gas. And gas is definitely a thing. Even though you can't really see it a lot of times either, like natural gas. Like they use in your oven. I heard they add that smell to it so that you could tell if there's a gas leak. The smell itself doesn't come with it. I wonder though if like a fart technically, maybe the smell is a sort of separate thing too that's added to it. The air itself that comes out, maybe it doesn't have a smell if you've been eating something that doesn't have a smell really. Or maybe it's the bacteria in your guts that produce a smell as they're sort of fermenting or digesting stuff in there. Yeah, I guess you have to have some food though to produce a fart. Maybe. Well, actually, I know people who can fart on command basically by sucking air into their butts and farting. So, I don't know, is it just a sound? But sometimes they're silent. So a fart can have a smell but no sound, or it can have a sound but no smell, or it could have both a smell and a sound. Sometimes though they could not make a sound at all and not stink either. And in that case it would just be air coming out of your butt. Would that be a fart though, or would that just be air? Like, what makes a fart different from just air? If it comes out of your body from that end, I guess it's a fart. Who decides these things? What's the criteria there? I guess a fart is a thing. It just seems like it's a very, sort of a selfish thing that humans decided is unique to our butts or something. Well, actually, no. Sometimes other animals fart, and we call those farts too. If you say the word fart too many times, it starts to sound really weird. Kind of tripping me out, to be honest here. But aside from that, I thought of something that could really make people more efficient at work. People who work at a desk and sit in a chair. I mean, these days some companies are timing bathroom breaks. So you have to clock out when you go to the bathroom now, then clock back in when you're done. I guess this is to prevent people from going into the bathroom and taking like a 30-minute to 1 hour shit or something and just fucking around in the stall, not doing any work. I don't know, maybe looking at their smartphone or something. Or who knows, God knows what else they could be doing in there. But I thought maybe we should just turn people's work chairs into toilets. Then you could just go to the bathroom while you're working at your desk. In my old office, the walls were really thin and you could hear people when they were using the bathroom, which was pretty embarrassing. Like you could hear every sound in the bathroom, like their farts and their poop and their pee, and then when they're groaning or whatever. You could even hear the toilet paper roll as the paper's being unrolled. I mean, if you work in an office like that, you might as well just be shitting where you're sitting, right? And then, I don't know, it would just be a lot more efficient that way for employers especially. They wouldn't have to... You could keep working while you're doing your urinating or pooping. And then there wouldn't be any loss of money that way, and you wouldn't have to worry about clocking in and out before you go to the bathroom. It might be a little bit embarrassing at first getting used to doing that in front of your coworkers. But that's why cubicles are also a good thing. This would work best in an office with a cubicle situation. not the open office layouts that are pretty popular these days in offices. Open offices are really awkward, by the way. Everyone's just sitting around. It feels like in a giant room. And if there are no partitions, it just feels like you just feel kind of exposed, and like you could just look straight ahead and there's someone right there looking at you possibly. Yeah, it's an extremely awkward situation, but ideally this workplace or work chair toilet would be used in an office with cubicles. Maybe you could put up some sort of a sign when you're working and shitting or peeing at the same time, so that it would be awkward if, like, say your coworker came and they wanted to talk to you about something, and you're sitting at your desk and pooping, and they're like asking you about, did you get the files from Dave or whatever. I don't know, or some people might be not as embarrassed by it. Depends on your level of shame, I guess. Some people would feel really awkward about it and embarrassed, and they would like hide their, business. And then some people wouldn't care, just be like, yeah, I'm taking a dump right now and talking to you about the latest, email that's going around about how to use the break room or whatever. I think I would get used to it after a while. I would feel embarrassed at first. Like, hey, don't watch me while I'm doing this. But then I would get used to it. They could even design a new style of pants for this exact purpose, that have a flap that just comes open in the back, so you don't have to pull your pants all the way down to go to the bathroom while you're working. And also that way, yeah, you could keep your pants all the way up except the back part. The flap comes down, and then, no one would be able to see your genitalia while you're using the bathroom. They could smell it and they could hear it, but they wouldn't be able to see your private parts. So you could have some privacy while you're doing it. It's also kind of annoying to have to get up and go to the bathroom sometimes. Like, you're really focused on something at work, and there could be other people in the bathroom. There could be even a line to go to the bathroom sometimes. You have that coworker who just monopolizes the toilet for hours at a time. Maybe not hours, more like several minutes at a time. And, if you've been drinking coffee all morning, you had like a croissantwich with sausage and cheese and egg and lots of butter, you might have to go to the bathroom really badly, and you don't want to wait around for your coworker who's just sitting in there fucking around, right? I don't think the cost would be too great either. You just have to sort of install. You'd just have to make a chair with sort of a boxed area at the bottom that you could insert a bedpan type of thing into. It wouldn't be like a full sewage toilet system where it flushes and everything. And then the workers would be responsible for dumping their waste tanks or whatever at the end of the day. And the workers who don't do it, they'd get in trouble for it somehow. You could shame them. Like, like in break rooms, a lot of times you'll see a sign that says, your mom doesn't live here, so clean up after yourself. That kind of thing. Yeah, well, your mommy's not going to come here and wipe your tush for you and empty your poop tank, your pee tank. So you better take care of that yourself. You can have signs like that around the workplace. I walk my dog every day outside on the street, and a lot of times people will give us compliments, right? Actually, they give him compliments. They're like, oh my goodness, your dog is so cute. And sometimes I hesitate. Like, how am I supposed to respond to that? Am I supposed to... I usually just say thanks because it's just the simplest thing to say, but I feel weird too because I feel like I'm taking the compliment from my dog. They're saying my dog is cute, not me, so... And I couldn't really say thanks on his behalf either. That would be awkward. Maybe it wouldn't be that awkward. Maybe I could say, my dog thanks you, or my dog is quite flattered by that. But that would be really weird, I think, if I said that and someone would be like, what? and then I might end up getting into a weird conversation with someone and explaining to them what I'm talking about. But does anyone else ever think about this? Like, what are you supposed to say when someone compliments your dog? I've also thought of saying maybe, "Oh yeah, he is a very cute dog," but that might sound kind of arrogant. Like, yeah, I know he's cute, but at the same time, I'm not talking about myself, so it shouldn't come off as arrogant. But some people might take it that way. So it is sort of a dilemma. Like, you think my dog is cute? That's nice. Didn't really say that either. That would be rude sounding. Does anyone have a good response for when this type of situation happens? If you do, please let me know because I'd really like to hear it. I still haven't thought of the most appropriate thing to say in response to that. Well, I think that does it for this episode of Mouth Dancing with your host Young. Please subscribe, rate, review, and tell everyone you know about this, okay? Because I could really use some listeners. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please check me out on Twitter at MouthDancing or on Instagram at MouthDancing. And I'll talk to you next week. Goodbye.